Here is a quick tutorial on how to fail at learning Japanese and never become fluent. Step 1. Binge-watch anime. Spend hours and hours mindlessly watching anime. Remember to enable subtitles in your own language. You want to ensure that you understand everything right off the bat. Avoid the tedious procedure of rewatching scenes to grasp the meaning yourself. Just lean back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you start feeling guilty, convince yourself that this is an important part of your studying routine. After all, it's all about immersion and acquiring the language, not learning it, right? Step 2. Chase the perfect method. Always keep an eye out for even better ways to learn Japanese. Never stick to any method to avoid making progress. Invest loads of time and energy scouring the internet for the ultimate approach. Ideally, one that comes with a success guarantee. While you're at it, pat yourself on the back for putting in the effort here. Congratulate yourself for being such a diligent student trying to optimize their approach. Delay the actual getting to work and studying part as much as you can. Tell yourself that using a subpar approach is just a waste of precious time that you cannot afford. Step 3. Don't learn kanji. Listen to people telling you that you don't need to learn kanji. There are way too many of them anyway. More than 2,000 kanji are needed to just read a newspaper. Learning those takes Japanese kids 12 years in school. Remind yourself that kanji are not even needed for engaging in conversations or listening comprehension. So just stick to kana, or ideally romaji. This will severely limit your opportunities to immerse yourself in more fun, real-life Japanese content. Step 4. Avoid studying routines. If you do find yourself studying, make sure it's irregular and draining. Cram in several hours of learning every now and then. Never fall into the trap of establishing shorter and consistent daily routines that could lead to sustained progress. Savor the sense of accomplishment after each intense one-off session. Take regularly 1 or 2 weeks off in between those sessions to recharge your batteries. Tell yourself you earned it. Step 5. Look for shortcuts. Always look for shortcuts instead of putting in the work. Especially apps promising to enhance language learning and productivity are a great rabbit hole to go down here. Try out as many as possible in hopes of accelerating your progress. Ideally, you end up with an arsenal of different apps, each serving a niche purpose. Focus on feeling busy and productive by managing these tools instead of actually studying. Step 6. Make up excuses. If you haven't given up yet, find good reasons to skip your studying sessions. Whether it's a busy day at work, a poor night's sleep, feeling slightly unwell, or an invitation from a friend to dinner, skip your session. Tell yourself that this is only an exception and choosing not to study is a reasonable decision. You can always make up by studying harder tomorrow. While you're at it, why not create a cheat day or 2 per week? Studying is really hard and exhausting, so you may as well just cut yourself some slack. Step 7. Focus on the outcome, not the process. Focus intensely on your goal of being fluent in Japanese. Feel frustrated that you are not there yet. Rush toward the finish line as fast as you can, aiming for that magical day when you'll finally have mastered the language and endless opportunities and joy await. Fall into a cycle of feeling discontented with your progress and feeling pressured to study harder. This will drain all the fun from the learning process. Forget that learning Japanese was once a passion and your conscious choice. At all costs, avoid perceiving the learning process as a satisfying growth journey in its own right. Step 8. Avoid mistakes. Remind yourself that making mistakes is bad and should be avoided. After all, that's what you were taught in school. View mistakes as proof of your inability to properly use or understand the language. Always stay within your comfort zone. Don't speak Japanese unless you're 100% sure on how to phrase your sentence correctly. If in doubt, switch to English. If you do make a mistake, feel embarrassed and ashamed. Let it slowly chip away at your confidence to use the language at all, instead of recognizing mistakes as an essential part of the language learning process. Step 9. Learn only to pass tests. Study with the goal of passing the Japanese language proficiency test, making it your sole motivation for learning the language. As the exam date approaches, feel the pressure and anxiety mount. Double down on rote learning practices like multiple choice exercises, despite their limited effect on your ability to use Japanese in everyday life. Spend your days in distress, waiting and waiting, until you finally receive the results of your work. If you don't pass the test, consider it proof that learning Japanese was pointless, or simply blame external factors. If you do pass, go ahead and celebrate by taking an extended break from studying. After all, your big milestone has been achieved, and that's what studying is about. Step 10. Compare yourself to others. Regularly compare yourself to more advanced learners, especially those on YouTube who seemingly learned the language effortlessly and quickly. Focus on the huge gap between their abilities and yours. Avoid running your own race and appreciating your own progress. Estimate how long it will take you to get to their level. Think of the hours, days, weeks, months, and years. Eventually, lose all confidence that you will ever make it. Question whether all the time you've spent learning Japanese has been a waste. This could be the perfect moment to throw in the towel for good, instead of trusting in the gradual improvements that would come if you just kept at it.